This story is from the AITA subreddit and is titled, Am I the Astronaut for Not Inviting Sister's Family to the Beach on Easter Holiday? Hi, everybody. I am eager to read your response because I feel like I'm taking crazy pills. A bit of background, my 34 female sister, 37 female, is my mom's favorite. No way around it. She got married really young and her husband is fine, but a bit clueless. He works hard and provides a nice life, but lifting a finger for the kids would be beyond him. I'm sure that's going to come back into the story. So my mom always instilled the we got to help her out mentality, and I poured my heart and soul into helping her raise her kids for years, and I mean it. Sadly, she then thought it was my responsibility and even left me with her kids hours after my C-section. Hours after a C-section? She's like, here, your shift is now. Even now, she throws full tantrums that ruin family vacations if I don't want to look after her kids. But the general consensus in my family is, why couldn't you just take them? They really don't see the problem. Oh, thanks, fam. Y'all are a bunch of enabling ass bags. Greatly appreciate that. I would still make the effort to help out if she had ever been a bit nice to my kids, but she's indifferent at most and downright rude at times. To your kids, OP? Wow. Which brings me to the present situation. My husband's family has a beach house, and for years, we would go there with my entire family to spend holidays, Easter, Christmas, New Year's, and the like. However, there was always something with her. I bring the food for everyone, but she brings some snacks for her kids only. My son asked for a yogurt one time, and she said no. LMAO. One time I asked for a bit of cheese for my daughter, and she said no. That sort of thing. She'll bring a bag of pool noodles and shit from the dollar store for her kids only. My kids aren't allowed to touch them or use them, and she acts so annoyed if they even ask about them. For the record, my kids are 5 and 3. So this week we're going to the beach house, and I haven't invited her. She asked if they could go, and I said no. So she wrote to my husband thinking he'd override me and say yes, of course. He didn't even reply to her message. Now she's boo-hooing to anyone who will listen about how bad I am and how it's my fault and her family won't get a vacation. Am I the astronaut for not inviting her? I feel terrible for her kids, but I just can't stand her being so effing rude to my kids in my face in my house. It's not even like no, NTA. Let's get it out there. NTA. Yes, I don't have a bizzo button yet, but all of you folks in the storm that have a bizzo button, throw that shit in chat. This is a bizzo. Not even just being disrespectful to you, and we see this a lot. People who are hesitant to create or reinforce boundaries for themselves. Whenever something happens to their kids, those boundaries come up. Those boundaries definitely come up because she's going mama bear mode now, right? If somebody, oh my gosh, this is the whole cycle of there's somebody who does you huge favors in life and you still treat them like shit. And then you turn around and ask them to do you more favors. What I don't understand here is OP allowed herself to be taken advantage of in the beginning of this process by helping raise these kids pretty much, and developed a relationship which I'm sure made her more likely to allow herself to continue being taken advantage of because she was doing it for the kids at that point, not for the sister or sister-in-law. But at what point do you just stand up and you're like, hell no? And I guess this is it. There was enough pain to create some change, and she created the boundary and said, hell no, I'm not letting you ruin yet another vacation because you are an absolute ass bag. To be so giving to someone else's kids and have that person turn around and be just quite the opposite to your own kids is absolute horseshit. And I'm going to go ahead and put her up here. She's the worst of the worst. If she's willing to treat kids like shit for no reason because what? They wanted a yogurt. They wanted to use the pool noodle. Eat glass. You heinous biatch. It's like I can almost put a face on this gal too. You know what I mean? I can almost put a face on her. Almost. I can almost put a face. Yeah, there's a user. Yeah, she's definitely a user. I don't understand how people can use people like that and then treat them like absolute shit without trying to hide it at all. Be just terrible to them, let alone their kids. Taking it 10 steps further by being shitty to someone's kids, someone who helps you out a shit ton, and then expects to still be able to continue using and abusing them. I guess she just assumed that OP had no backbone whatsoever, and she was going to continue just taking it this whole time. But good for you, OP, for finally standing up and being like, hell no. And you know what? I would take it a step further and say, look, fam, anybody who agrees with her is welcome to stay behind. Anybody who's going to give me shit for having boundaries and protecting my children can stay behind and miss out on this too. No dark clouds allowed on this trip. Sorry about you. Ain't gonna happen. None.